my sound preferences are. I like bass. And if it can have quantity and quality, I'm rocking it. Especially mid bass. I like the slam over the sub bass rumble. I like my mids super clean. Not a big fan of overly colored, overly thick, overly warm mids. Not a big fan of that. And highs that are very sweet and seem to be able to keep up without ever being overbearing or in your face. So hello again, this is the Tone Deaf Monk. Today I'm bringing you CCA, another one from them, and the best one I've heard yet from CCA. This is the Hydro, so 10 unit hybrid. 2 dynamic drivers, 8 balanced armatures packed into what I think is probably one of the larger KZ CCA shells that I have seen. Longer nozzles, which is great, so you get a good fitment. I'll show you that here. So I take my ears are what I consider medium large, and I get good fitment with that. Here I have this, and let's talk about price just for a second. So regular $125 to $129 with either stock cable or this 784 8-core braided cable, which is baller. Still 3.5, but it's a hugely nice step up, and it's great to see KZ offering this, and I was super happy. And my feedback to them was, please make it on more all IMs. I think that would be terrific. On sale, you can get this for $116 without the regular with the regular cable, or $120, no brainer, with the 784 cable. So that's what I would suggest. Inside of this bad boy is 2 dynamic drivers, and this is kind of interesting. So there's a what they call a Zune XUN7. So it's a 7mm dynamic driver, and that is what's driving the bass. It's a dual magnetic, dual cavity driver, and I do like it quite a bit. And there's what's interesting is there's the second dynamic driver, and it's an 8mm dynamic driver, and it runs full range. And you don't see this kind of configuration too much. Now, there's also 4 sets, composite sets, so 2 BAs put together for the mids, highs, and upper treble. So, well done, CCA, on this one. Just talking about my chain, my Samsung S24 Ultra was my transport, and using the DD Hi-Fi little cable, this little guy here, I use that thing. That was what the TC09L OTG cable, and then I was using the KN RU7 dongle, very smooth, organic sounding 1-bit DAC. The 784 cable, the hydro and pen-on lacquer tips were my choice for fit and comfort. All playing from title files FLAC. I'm just going to jump into some track impressions. Now, this settings was with, because it also has 4 tuning switches, up, down, down, down. So first level bass boost, poem of Chinese drum, average, above average decay that this little Zune 7mm driver could do. The texture and the bass notes, the second order harmonics are very well done. You can hear the air inside of the drum harmonics. You can. And the decay to finish the notes was also very good. While you could hear the next bass hit, it was layering quite well over top of each other, and you get a good sense of the tonality of the different drums and the respected sizes of the drums and how hard they're being played. So overall, in the bass category, the hydro does a pretty stand-up job. The rest of the instrumental also played with good tonality and attack, and it's not at top tier level here, but I think this is very respectable, and certainly in its price bracket, it's a banger. Now, just talking about that for a second, I'm getting a little snobby now because I've had a chance, and I've been very blessed to be able to hear higher end sets. And I'm listening now to my Alpha Omega flagship $2,700 IM that is at top tier, competing with the best of the best. Absolutely. Now, when I say that, and I'm comparing now $100, $120 IM, I want you to get a little bit of give me a little bit of leeway in the fact that I get a chance to listen to these really, really high-end IMs, and I know that $120 IM is not going to compete with it in that category, obviously, but and what I'm trying to say is that comparing it to multi-kilo buck IMs, you do get a bit jaded in your impressions, and the fact that you've heard the best, and if you have not heard IMs in this kind of tier level, and when I say, it doesn't compete with top tier, that's kind of my meaning. It's this $120 IM, I'm bailing on this whole expression. I'm not speaking well. The coffee is not helping here express what I'm trying to say to you about when I'm listening to top tier gear, and then I listen to $120 IM, it's impossible for me not to judge the tonality, the timbre of instruments, how well it plays, the staging on all of that, while in the back of my mind, I'm still getting the impressions of a $2,700 IM. So keep that in mind when you're watching this review and my reviews. Kiss Me, sixpence Japanese version, sixpence none the richer. Here, clean vocals, great female vocals. The replay, very nice note weight, lots of top end sparkles and energy. I do get a little bit of sibilance here, just on the edge, but I think it's overall very well done. Now the same track with up, 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 down settings. So for those of you who like a little bit more mids and treble energy, this is what I heard in that exact same track. So it brings the mids and the vocals a tad more forward, noticeably, but not in a terrible way, in a great way. The top end, actually, here's a weird thing, smoothed out more, and that was a surprise. Probably because there's more mid energy and it kind of balances out the top end. And I love now how the guitar came to life and became more prominent. So there's something to be said for also now boosting up that with that third switch with the mids and highs. With up, up, down, down, for me, that was the best setting because I do like a little bit warmer presentation. And with the up, 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 down, it did give it a little bit more mids forward. It pushes the treble up to my top spicy level, but it didn't actually run over even at higher volume, so that was excellent. The RU7, though, the little KN dongle, definitely smooths out the overall sound signature, so keep that in mind in my sound impressions. I also tried this yesterday with the Ibasso DX180, which I find is a very neutral, very clean DAP, and it has a little bit less warmth to it, has no warmth to it. So using the up, 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 down switch, I find that that was too much into the top end. But I really liked, again, how it pushed the mids forward a bit. And up, up, down, down added some more bottom end boost, which I also like. I like both. I was flip-flopping on both of those settings. And it would really depend on your source, your chain, all of that. And that's you got a whole bunch of things into play with the Hydro, and it's so moldable. For treble sensitive people, leave the third switch in the down position. Don't put it up. And again, you can play with your sensibilities as well. I like the presentation of the Hydro on the up, 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 down, mostly for female vocals, and the up, up, down, down for jazz and instrumental. The up, up, down, down did, for me, make male vocals and sound better. And there is definitely some bass bleed that goes on in a non-offensive way. I like the extra energy that it brought forth to piano, for instance. Wonder Woman, another track. John Legend sounded more correct on this setting than without the mid-treble switch on. Chemical Mentalist, the Crystal Method with Wednesday. EDM, fun, slam, sparkles, and the ability to turn it up with up, up, down, down. So 2 thumbs up approved, EDM, Hydro. Flight of the Cosmic Hippo, some modern jazz here. Bella Fleck and the Fleckstones. Very good presentation, brings out the soul of this song. But you needed the up, 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 down switch to make it more balanced and sound correct. Otherwise, it sounded too warm and you couldn't hear the banjo and the instrumental come through with the right twang and the right tonality, but up, 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 down did it very well. So, and the other reason you'd want if you're listening to this kind of music, for me, what I found is putting that third switch up balanced out some of the bass where it would be too much bass in the bottom end. Yes, I said too much bass in the bottom end to make it a more natural replay. And of course, if you're a bass head, then go to the moon, right? Some things now, again, I'm being super judgmental, super critical here. And again, take into mind kilobuck IMs in one lesson and then hydro in the next lesson. Okay. The timbre and tonality is where I would take points off from the hydro. It is not the most natural sounding IM when it comes to instrumental and vocals. Pairing of your gear will make a huge, massive difference here, and also depending on your position and your preferences for the tuning switches. The treble, for me, touches the edge of sibilant, and on certain songs, yes, I do get some of that sharpness. With the mid-treble switch on, surprisingly, it kind of calms that down a little bit, and still manages to add a little bit more air and sparkle on the top end, which again I found is a bit of a surprise, and that's where you're going to have to play around with it for you. I think overall, the up, up, down, down versus the up, 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 down settings, I flip-flopped to what was my favorite setting. It really depended on a couple of things. It depended on my mood at the time, what source I was using, and what kind of music I was playing. The hydro is a very versatile all-rounder, in my opinion, very moldable to your personal taste, and I think it's very unoffensive. It can go from balanced to warm to more mid-forward, and let you pair the hydro with your source, your chain, your gear quite nicely. While not top tier 1000 plus level for technical details, resolution, the hydro is remarkably cohesive, and what CCA did here is absolutely, truly remarkable. To put together a 10 driver IM to appeal to the masses, and a big point here is at such a remarkable price point, $120 with nice cable. I think it's excellent value. I am calling this one the Castor Blaster with Finesse, the best CCA yet. Well done.